All right, man. This is Ryan Helm, your boy the Deadson. This is the very first episode of the Ryan Helm podcast. I'm gonna make it real quick because this is just an introductory, and so I'm gonna tell you about what we're gonna talk about in general, loosely, and what this podcast is gonna revolve around. And while it'll pertain, most of the conversations will some way tie into the what we call the 462 protocol. It's not limited to. So what is the 462 protocol? So the 462 protocol is something over the past year and a half to almost 2 years I've been developing and living. And so it consists of the first part, four, is the four pillars of Ascension. And those four pillars are, the first pillar is the strength pillar, which is physical strength. Second pillar is yoga, or as you would know, yoga. So it'd be you've got your mentally strong, you've got your physically strong is what the first pillar is. The second pillar is a spiritually strong pillar. The third pillar, we call it OD pillar, or offense defense pillar, which is just basically martial arts or boxing or any type of combative art to help discipline your mind. So that's the mental pillar aspect. And then the fourth would be community. So it's just I don't know if this is an actual word, but it's the word that keeps coming, like a communal knowledge, a communal sharing. So everything that you've learned personally, individually, you're able to not only share with others, but also receive what others have shared in your community. So those are the four pillars of Ascension. And then we have the 6 guidelines, which will be basically thought and creative energy, as a man thinketh, so he becomes. The second guideline will be the power of prayer. Prayer is the deep communion of the soul with God. Whatever God, source, creator, whatever word you want to use, doesn't matter. What matters is the power of prayer. It is very beneficial. The third guideline is power and purpose of meditation. I mean, you've heard it said so many times, be still and know that I am. I'm not going to get into that, but meditation. We all know the power of meditation. The fourth guideline is affirmation and manifestation. The fifth guideline, which sums 1 through 4 up, which is self-mastery, which is what we're going for, basically, should be striving for, what we're talking about, how to get there for the most part of this podcast. And then the sixth is art in any and all forms. Art is, as the statement goes, art is our, if you think of God or the gods, all they do is create, right? Essentially, they love and create. It depends on which gods. Yes, I know, I understand. But ultimate one true God, as in, the one true Tao, which is nameless, it creates. Yes, maybe it destroys as well, but through the destruction is creation. And so those are the 6 guidelines. And the two universal truths that I operate on, and I believe everyone should, is love and wisdom, man. And that gets a little hippyish, I get it, but when you understand how to operate off of love and wisdom, man, you can think so much clearer. And so that's the 462 protocol. And the 462 protocol, it plays on the Jungian and Nietzsche theory of Übermensch, and I don't want to get into too much about that now, but nonetheless, that's a little insight, and hopefully I'll be able to interview a lot of people that have expertise in the 4 pillars of Ascension, and I'll be able to share that and learn with you as well. And I've been putting this off for a while because it's very daunting, man. I like to consider myself pretty fearless, man, honestly, pretty fearless. But as I've been learning about podcasting and just learning it on my own individual level, spiritually, physically, financially, putting stuff out there, they call it the Imposter Syndrome. And so what that is you learn all this stuff and you get ready to get on a platform, whether it be a podcast or social media, whatever, you start to get really nervous, like, man, who the fuck am I to be telling people? I don't want to steer people wrong, or it got in my head. I ain't gonna lie. But you know what? I always make the right choice. I always take the right path. And so everything happens for a reason. I believe that. And today's the day. Now is the first episode. And we're just gonna move on from there. I'm excited to meet and interview interesting and just beautiful people and be able to share that with you. And I'm sure it's going to be a wild ride, as my life mainly is, and hopefully you'll learn something. If not, I'm pretty sure at some point it's going to be pretty entertaining, whether I'm fucking up on my words or hopefully not disrespecting anybody. Hopefully not. I never mean to, but sometimes you say things and people take it wrong, but I guess we're going to see. And so, yes, thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening to this or whatever. And let's party. Deuces.